Hey everybody, Stuart Bradley here. I have the privilege of visiting with Nalini Mahadevan. She is the principal and owner of MLO Law LLC. Nalini, I am so happy to be here with you.
Thank you. I was entering the United States as a non-STEM person. Once I finished my studies, then I would have 1 year opportunity of 1 year to work for an employer.
That's the OPT.
That's the OPT.
About.
That's the optional practical training.
Does that OPT, the choice of work for OPT, does that need to account for a specialization if you're to any degree? You said if we're STEM or not STEM. If I want to stay here and maybe work toward an H-1B, does my choice of where I work on OPT matter?
Where you work on OPT doesn't matter, but your OPT, the OPT needs to.
We're trying to do our proper marketing here. Where's our MLO law? There we go.
Okay.
All right.
So OPT in general means that you only work in the area that you are qualified for. So if today I was a mechanical engineer, I have to look for a company that employs who needs my mechanical engineering skills. So
Okay.
part of being OPT, the reason you do that is as the law requires it, and as you transition into an H-1B visa and you're applying for an H-1B visa, it could be possible, and that's most of the students who come to us who are being sponsored by companies. These are companies that have employed these students and find them very qualified in their own core competency of the company or their core products. And so once that happens and you establish that connection, there you have a sponsor who wants to sponsor you for an H-1B visa.
Right.
So very important to know, you can self-file for an F visa, which is a student visa, but you need a sponsor, ergo a job, in order to qualify for an H-1B visa.
Understood. And that sponsor needs to meet, and that application for the H-1B has to meet certain specificity requirements.
Oh yes,
it has to be specific
absolutely.
to that, and specific to your degree,
Yes.
and then specific to the role,
Yes.
the job
and
description.
Yes. For instance, I mean, one of the things I would say is your transcript. Look at your transcript. Does your transcript match your job duties that you for the job that you're applying for? Now, does the employer have the financial capability of employing you? That means. So and then so there are basically three things. The government wants to look at, the US government looks at, is this job specialized enough that you need a bachelor's degree in order to do this job? Or can somebody coming off the street just with a little bit of training do it? So that has now become the threshold question. So the more specialization you have in an area that is in demand, the easier it is to get a job.
Okay.
So these are all things you have to think about.
Sure. So to break this down a little bit, maybe there's somebody on, listening to this video or thinking about coming to the US already here, and they're looking at CPT or OPT. And if the goal
Curricular practical training, CPT.
And if the goal is just to get some work experience, or maybe work just for a year on OPT, or 3 years on STEM OPT, that's as far as the planning is done or desired, then, well, maybe with OPT we don't need a specialization necessarily. Like I majored in business, and business typically, if you majored in business, and then you say you want to do marketing, right? These are roles that are not really in short supply. There's lots of talent in the United States. Now, it happens sometimes that someone in marketing gets a job with a firm, and that firm loves them and they sponsor them for an H-1B, and sometimes through the lottery it could work, but generally speaking, to be successful in H-1B, you need to be fulfilling a role that other people could not, right? But if generally speaking, if you just wanted 1 year of OPT, you could just shoot for that and do pretty much anything. Right?
Well, the issue with OPT is the US government says that person must be there must be some nexus between there must be some relationship between if you've done your MBA and you've done your MBA in finance, and suddenly you think, oh, I want to do marketing, and we go do a marketing OPT. If it is just an MBA that is enough for that job, it may be okay. But if you, for instance, I mean, nowadays even in MBA, your marketing is becoming so specialized. There's a lot of quantitative analysis and all the market research that goes on. So I mean, so don't it may have worked a few years ago to be a little more general. Now I think the trend in the market is being towards being more particularized. But to your point of a person who wants to just stay here temporarily, which is why I started off, is what is your goal?
Right.
Who just wants to stay here temporarily,
How we doing?
that person may want to just be in a job that is, like you said, generalized, and then go back to their home country and transfer what are the skills they learned in that business,
Yeah.
and go back. I mean,
Right.
there are people who do that.